my biggest thing is that I always wanted to travel. I worked in the travel industry. So I set up a separate bank account, put money aside to make sure I had money to always travel. And that was my priority. But then I hit my 30s and obviously got married and then had children. And then all of a sudden, it's not all about you. You're all of a sudden managing not just your money, but everyone else's money. When I had my children, I didn't actually go back to work. I did in between, but they were little casual jobs. So that gave me an opportunity then to delve into, okay, well, how do I get this under control? Because you want to be able to have money for Christmas and for birthdays and go on holidays. So we went through a stage of purchasing a property, and then we actually had an investment property as well. And to cut a long story short, we ended up having a change in financial circumstances and relocating. And I got super scared and ended up just saying, like, we're going to sell the lot. And so we sold our beautiful home that we had built and an investment property that we'd purchased, all because I got really scared because I couldn't manage our money. And I had no system to work from. I kept on asking our accountant, what do I do? Where do I do? How do I get my money under control? Where do I put it? And he wouldn't give me that advice. So that's when I really started looking. I was having trouble working with the data that I had. It wasn't, I'm very visual. So I thought there's got to be a better system. So I just thought, I'm not even going to Google it. I'm just going to get in the car, go to the nearest bookstore and see if surely someone, Koshi or someone's got to have brought a book out by now. So that's when your book popped out at me, because the title is what I was seeking. I just want to make my money simple again. And that's exactly, why the book popped out at me. And I went, finally, I found something that I can work with. I read the book back to front in a week, and then I went back the following week and actually highlighted everything that I needed to make amendment to, because most of it was pertinent to us. And I then set a task on, implementing the steps and making the changes. There was a lot more in it than originally I thought, because it's not just go and work out your living and lifestyle expenses, it's all your banking, because I had to sort all the banking side of it out. So from the moment I bought the book up until when I actually fully implemented the Money Smart system it was the start of December. So I went in the September to buy the book. So it took that long for me to obviously go through the book, work out what I needed to do. Then I had to work out I had to open up new bank accounts, offset accounts, obviously linked to the mortgage that we had. I didn't know how to utilise that offset account. Our mortgage broker hadn't explained that to us at the time. So obviously I had to set those up. Then I had to close the other accounts. I had to change the direct debits that go in and out, that went out of our old account. So I messed up a little bit initially.
Yep.
Because you're still getting used to how much you need to be putting into that account and accounting for. And also it took a little bit of time to sort of work back on my groceries and be a little bit more organised with my meal planning. So I knew what I was actually going to have in the freezer to be able to cook and things. It was the kids actually that had to adjust to it, because because we actually sit around the dinner table. The big thing for me to have and talk about things that I didn't have growing up, and that was just to discuss things like money. Yeah. And so I said to the kids, look, I'm implementing this new system. I'm only going to be grocery shopping either on a Friday or a Saturday, and I won't be grocery shopping through the week unless it's for staples like bread or milk. And they're like, oh, Mum, but because they were worried they were going to miss out on things, right? Yeah. And I said, well, it's because I've got a budget I've got to stick to, and it's just to help us all and to make sure that, that we can fit in with the budget I've set. And I said, do we still get tuck shop? I went, yes, you can still have accounted for tuck shop. But as soon as I had that all sorted, I was like, right, now I need a visual. So it actually gave me a picture instead of numbers. Yep. So therefore I could actually see where our current status was. But it also worked out where I could go to, like especially with provisional spending for the year. So obviously I'm coming up to the end of that this year. Yep. And I'm about 3,500 ahead. So, so for me, the visual is what was most important. That gave me that confidence and going, okay, it's going to work. Don't worry, because my husband Evan does often say, stop getting caught up with the detail and just focus on the big picture. because I love detail, and he's the big picture person. So he always says, don't get caught up with the details. So that's what I'm saying to myself, just trust the system, and that's proven. I would say to myself, so the mindset is normally you go, oh, where am I going to pay that from? Have I got enough money? But a bill would come in, and still does now, and I go, it's okay, I've accounted for that. It can straight out of the bills account, and I would pay it, accordingly. To me, there's not a concern. I know the money's there and it is accounted for. So there's been a change in mindset when it comes to peace of mind, and knowing that it's okay. Don't panic over it. It's accounted for. So previously to Money Smarts, I think it's just becoming a little bit more aware of where your money goes, but understanding debt and how it can actually assist you in the long term, and using the equity that you've got, particularly with property. So, and looking at the big picture of that. Previously, I wasn't able to understand that, but now I do. So I think my understanding now is if you get the everyday systems in place, and you have a long-term plan, utilising the current equity that you've got in the home to be able to buy another one and then another one, the system will work if you can just get the everyday under control. Yeah, believe in the system. That's why I'm here today talking to you. Believe in what other people have done as well, and be kind to yourself, because you can get really tough with, this didn't work, or I'm spending too much here. Yes, you still have to live, but just account for it, and have faith that the system will work.